Gonna do an undercarriage video here of the 65 GOAT convertible. And I'll shine some lights in areas too, just so you could see. But you could tell, I showed you in the walk around video, a bit of pitting here on the bumper. Initially I thought you could probably polish that out, but you know, if you wanted it perfect, that'd be a re-chrome. Looking at the passenger side rockers, they look really good. Nice. I got my flashlight too, so I can kind of light up in here for you. You see a bit of undercoating that's been done on it. You know, the gentleman that owned this and had had all the work done passed on, as I mentioned, and he left it to his friend. So we don't have a ton of history on it, but you could see initially I thought all the pan had been replaced, but it's actually just been epoxy coated, and they've done some fantastic suspension work here in the rear and just across the board on this one. So I'll kind of start back at the back again. You can see up in here, you know, there is no rust. It's a very clean body. Same thing with the frame. Gas tank, you can see some of the coating. It's got just some surface rust on there, but it's got a little bit of pitting. You get back up into here. This is driver's side rear quarter. Frame. See a little bit on the bottom side here. And I was looking at the body mounts. You can see that one's got a little bit of cracking on it. Get up in this driver's side fender well. And show you the fender lip. Touch on this rocker here as well while I'm back here. And we'll come back to that. So again, you can see the epoxy coating here, the suspension, the rear sway, the rear pinion, nice and dry. U-joints were replaced recently. Up underneath, you do have a complete 4-link suspension on this, so everything has been strengthened. Springs with air shocks. You know, you'd probably do some different shocks in there. The rear pumpkin diff is nice and clean and dry. Got a little bit of moisture right there at the bottom of it. Flowmaster dual exhaust. You can see the drive lines newer too. Got the H pipe in the exhaust system. But see, I was looking at these floor pans and thinking they had been replaced, but as I follow it, this looks like it was all original. It's just been epoxy coated and taken down to bare metal and blasted. So you can see it's in beautiful condition. Fuel line running. There's your Hurst shifter. Competition Plus. Rear seal on the tranny is good and dry. See a little bit coming here on the shifter seal. Could need a new shifter seal on there ultimately. This front O-ring looks good. There's your trans numbers. Bell housing. Bottom of the trans. A little bit of fluid right there. Could be the plug. I'm seeing some thread seal on there. I don't clean any of this stuff up. I figure it's better for you to just see it the way I'd inspect it if I were buying this bad boy. Getting back onto the driver frame. Finishing up that side of the rocker that I hadn't done yet. Getting up into the... Oh, look at what that is. Oh, I thought that was moisture. Looks like it's some kind of paint or something sealing on there. Discs. Getting up underneath the front here for you. Springs and shocks, sway bar links, upper and lower control arm bushings. Not seeing anything right now that needs to be addressed. There's the bottom of your Borgeson steering gearbox. You can see too there's a new rag joint on the steering column. Front cross member, looking up at the pulley and the crank, pan up at the engine. All this was rebuilt and redone, so you know you'd expect no leaks. That's an oil pan. Try to get you up in there as much as I can. I'm seeing some kind of fluid coming off maybe the firewall. I'll double check the master cylinder, as I know it was replaced, so I'll figure out what that is and address it. Kind of coming back to the passenger side, looking at the floor pan, frame rail. I'm finishing off on this section of rockers that I hadn't done yet. A tiny little bit of denting there on the stainless. Getting up into the front fender well and the lip on there. Passenger disc. Little drip right there. Looks like oil filter. Sending units clean. Back of the block, the heads. You can see up in there, nice and dry. New brake lines in the front. Try to get up as close in as I can for you. Water pump. So yeah, let me know if I missed anything as I'm going through it. You know, tie rod ends, pitman, links, ball joints. This does drive tight too. I just had it out yesterday doing a few hot laps for the driving video, and it was a dream. The front core support does have an electric fan on it too, in addition to the manual if you need some additional cooling. Mechanicals in there too. Oh, and lastly, the front bumper here, just seeing the underside. You know, this one's in really nice clean condition. I don't really see any pitting or anything, probably more just a little bit of polish on this underside and you're good to go. All right, there she is. That's a machine.